We've got our new turbo here. I had to buy some new piping. Oop. I'm hoping this doesn't collapse. We'll find out. We're gonna have to trim this. I know that much. It'll have to be about down to here. Something like that. That way we can clear the oil filter. I will be getting a relocation thingamajig for this guy, so that will get dealt with sometime soon. Then we need this 2-inch for that guy. That will be that, and this intake plate will be upgraded later on. They're cutting a tree down over there, by the way. And then this is it's a 2.5 to 2 or 2 to 2.5, whatever. And it fits this guy here. And then this is a 4-inch. That goes to here. Now the exhaust side is a 3-inch, and I'm pulling my old exhaust out, and it's gonna get a new exhaust probably this weekend. I have an appointment with a shop tomorrow morning. I was gonna have them put a catalytic converter on it for DEQ purposes, but I still have until next February to do DEQ, so I'm gonna wait on that. And they're just gonna, because it's a diesel, they're just gonna go ahead and they'll be able to just straight pipe it and not bitch about it. So it should, with a cat and a full exhaust all the way to the end of the bed, or by the bumper, they quoted me $750, but I'm gonna tell them I don't want a cat right now, and because I insisted on getting a cat. And he's like, "Why do you need a cat?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I'm gonna take that off the list. It should be about $400 for an exhaust after that, so we'll find out." Make sure you tighten these up when you go back to testing it, because I forgot to tighten one up and I blew the tube off on the turbo side there, and yeah, it runs pretty good without a turbo. Has almost no power. This one here we're gonna undo. Yeah, I forgot to tighten the bottom one because I took that whole thing off there and went to pass somebody and went. Gonna do something like that. There, and then we don't get anything in the intake. Just now it's an anteater. So, I'm gonna try an 11. I think it's small. It's gonna be smaller than that. Okay, so it's a half inch. And I'm doing this all with basic hand tools. Just so you guys know, no air tools, just basic AutoZone quality, soaked in dirty motor oil. Okay, we're good there. Now I'm gonna undo the exhaust. Oh, and I gotta undo this turbo fitting. It looks like it just bolts on. I'll take care of that here in just a sec. Okay, so I went underneath the truck, disconnected the feed line from the block, just because that'd be easier. We'll install the feed line on the new turbo when it's all out, and then just reinstall it to the engine. Got it out. It used it's a 16 millimeter for both ends. It fits perfectly. I would recommend a crow's foot for that. There's a flathead screwdriver to get the clamp loose for the turbo drain tube, the orange connector boot. Should be a 2-piece. I felt 2 flares, so yeah, should be good there. So what I'm going to do now is remove the air filter. I got the exhaust is loose, so just kind of hanging there. I'm gonna get my flathead screwdriver on this thing. So we are going to need a new air filter for this. And I believe I have one of the right size. Grab our clamp. You can always, before you start, just do this. They give you these little bosses right here. You just and then you can. I can't really get back there, but strike the head a couple times. Be gentle with it. There's one more bolt hidden down in here, but just give them all a little tap. It'll kind of knock them free a little bit. Yeah, so this one's coming out really nice. So you gotta like about this cylinder head is if you need to get it out, you just heat this area up and it comes right off. So let's go ahead and remove those 8. The only thing that scares me about this is the fact that we still got 4 more bolts to go, and that's on the turbo. They look a little scary, but I think with a little bit of hammering and a little bit of wrenching, we might be able to get them out. The only thing I'm fighting is this exhaust. Which is no longer an issue. Come on. Get out of there. So there's what she looks like. Not too sooty. It's keeps itself clear for the most part. Oh, there you go. There's your other spot for your motor mount, so I wouldn't be able to use the middle part. A starter just would never fit. You'd have to use the breadband mounts. Unless you had the 6BT, then maybe you could do it. But not for my application. So that drain tube, we have to be careful we don't get any dirt down there. And we're putting an oil pump in this thing. So this is our old setup. We'll make sure we clean up these sides here. I don't know if there was some gasket stuff on here and then we're gonna have a leak or what, but looks like she was gonna leak at some point. It's not bad. I don't want to try not to damage the manifold too much. So, oh, looks like we just got nuts to deal with. Alright, this is going a lot easier, a lot better than I expected. We're using a 15mm wrench and a hammer, little baby one, and I'm just tapping on the outside here. Also, I'm kind of giving them a little tap to wake them up, and they're coming undone. I've already got one here. I think Cummins was nice enough to use some real good quality hardware. I'm hoping that that stays true for the rest of today. Yeah, they're just a little dirty. This guy here, just barely. I'm gonna try. Worst comes to worst, we can undo these. I think these are 13s, and then pull that out. So yeah. Okay, and this one here, you can come in with your wrench. So this one wasn't very tight, but it's coming off. Good thing is this stuff was kind of warm to begin with, so I'm going to get everything undone properly. Okay, here's our old gasket. Let's see where this was sitting. Okay, so where this gasket, it's just a gasket, there's nothing on it, no material, this is just built up of crap. It's not really carboned up a whole lot, it's just got a little layer. The rest of it just gets blown out. So, there's our old turbo. I'm going to actually take this boot off here, get these lines off, and then we'll switch it over to the new turbo. One thing I'm going to show you that's kind of an issue with my feed line, I'll end up replacing it at some point. And I'll get a new boot, that's going to be a little nasty, but got this little kink right here. I don't really care for this a whole lot, so I'm going to end up getting a new one of these, and I don't think it's really leaking, it's just got stuff on it from all the oil changes, but alright, so here's the first problem I run into. I'm going to have to go to Napa and have them make me a hose. But, so this end here is what goes in the engine, that's cool, and it's the same size in the other end, but the problem I've run into is that this size is smaller than that. Okay, so here's the story on this. We had to go run around and get some parts. I had to borrow my cousin's car to go get a part, and I'll show you what it is here in a second. So our old turbo has that little fitting right there. Well, the one on the new turbo is smaller. It's a 12 by 1.5, and I went to oil filter service in Portland, and they hooked me up for $77, a brand new thing. This here fitting, this is going to go into our Cummins engine, so we're going to put that on first, and then we'll just tighten the new hose on there, and then this is where we get the other part. So, our new turbo, I'll show you, has a 12 by 1.5. There's the fitting there. So they gave me this with a bonded seal. We'll put that on there. I'll tighten it down later, but there we go, there's that. So now we can mount the turbo. I gotta reclock this, but I'll do that when I get in the truck. So I'll tighten it down. We'll get this on the manifold, we'll drop her in there and get it installed, and then, yeah. And this fitting here, which has dirt on it, is the same size, or this outlet, sorry. It's the same size as the old turbo, so I'll be able to bolt up my exhaust and run that until I get a new system put in. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna put our new turbo in today. It's looking kind of slim. When I get my exhaust, I'm definitely not getting a cat. It's like I'll just install it later. So, can you see? Yeah. So, turbo, it's gonna be like this in the engine. There goes something I probably need. I'm gonna figure out what that was. Oh yeah. I don't really need that. There is a gasket in here for the, that's the turbo drain tube. Don't lose that, we're gonna need it. So, we'll put the manifold on in here in a second. Let's see. This is gonna be a 17. Or maybe an 18. Hey, it's an 18. Should not leak. If it does, this is our exhaust manifold. let's see, I don't think it really matters which way it goes on. Make sure your studs are good. If you have to replace them, replace them. Beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the nuts in, and then get that drain tube installed, snugged up, and then we'll go ahead and put it back on the truck. Alright, tubes, we're just about ready to go here. I got my line hooked up. I have not tightened the fitting down because I want to be able to move it around and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that in there, and I'm just going to hold it in with one manifold, and I'm going to drop my gaskets in and put bolts in and get all that situated, and then we'll just kind of slowly work on getting that bolted in. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this rubber hose on the drain tube fitting at the same time. Which didn't take much effort at all. Alright, the manifolds are bolted up, the exhaust is bolted up, the feed line's bolted up, the return line, or drain tube, and whatchamacallit are set. Get our little tube on there. I had to make find a clamp. My parts guy was a bit of a goof. So this one's just barely gonna work. I think. It's like, how many more threads can I back out of this thing? Like it's maxed out. But it's over it. Get out there, you son of a bitch. There we go. Now we're just gonna tighten it down. That just barely worked. Yeah, that is not going to work. Yeah. So now, go to 10. Which barely works, but we're loosening up the V-band here on the turbo. It should be enough to move that, but it's not. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That fits real nice. There. I'll put that clamp like that. I'll show you what it looks like. As I put it down in there, I just positioned the impeller so that this isn't all stressed out, so it's nice and flat now. Yeah. Look at that. It is massive. I'm gonna do a top mount turbo someday. Jeez. Alright. I'm gonna prime the oil system. I'm gonna disconnect my ignition. Get some oil going to the turbo. And make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay, contact. Running. It's gonna smell for a little bit. Still got my exhaust leak. Still pretty quiet, but you gotta put a load on it to make boost. This is not the ideal air cleaner setup that I would desire for this thing. What I desire is an air box to go right here. Fresh air to come in from here like the factory did. And then this guy here I'm gonna mount down here. So that's something I'm going to work on before I go to Cali. We might end up making our own air box. I don't know. But I got that to work. I found this air filter in my air filter box. Air and oil filter box, excuse me. And it's the same. The outside diameter of the filter lip fit inside my tube there. And I just put a clamp on it. Put some Windex on it to lubricate it. And it slid right in. I had to use a screwdriver to pry it open a little bit, but it fit. There. I'm gonna let her warm up. Go take her for a test drive. Everything clean up, and I gotta go get a belt. I left mine at the gym, and I'm go see if they have it, or I'll just get a new one. So we should all be good to go here. I'll let this guy warm up a tiny bit. Just give him a couple minutes to wake up. Sounds like factory at idle. Oh, it'll burn all that crap off. Hear the turbo more. Awesome.
At the joy they had found, the head nurse spoke up, said leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone.